Hello Aries, how are you? Today is June 12th, 2021. I'm here to do your weekly reading. So a couple things. Obviously we had an eclipse last week, and many of you wrote to me about physiological symptoms that you were having. Some couldn't sleep, some were wired, some like myself had really low blood pressure, couldn't get out of bed. The eclipses are always kind of a knockout. Plus, on top of that, the next day, Mars moved into Leo, so that's a big shift, especially with Mars in Cancer being an anaretic degree, which is the 29th degree of any sign. So hopefully that will have passed. Mars in Leo energy, I kind of feel like it's been playing out as like, while we were doing the Mars in Cancer thing, we're maybe like a little bit nostalgic about things in the past, or like figuring out situations, like how we felt emotionally about situations. And now with Mars in Leo, we suddenly find the energy to do something about them. Whereas before we just like couldn't predict our energy levels. And so it was like, one day I would like to fix this, or maybe I'll deal with that at another time. And then all of a sudden Mars moves into Leo, and you could be waking up today like, oh, all right, let's take care of this, let's take care of this, let's take care of that. So it's nice energy. Sunday we have Venus sextile Uranus, which can be gentle, pleasant surprises in love and money. Sun square Neptune, not an energy I love. It can be illusions revealed, let's put it that way. Saturn square Uranus on Monday. However, we've been kind of like dealing with that for the last few weeks, so it just culminates at that point. It's the second out of third passes, with Saturn being in retrograde. And then that's pretty much it for the week in terms of energy, which is good because it's kind of like one of those weeks where we incorporate everything that's happened over the past couple of weeks. So it's kind of like getting a breather after the storm. And then Jupiter goes retrograde next Sunday on the 20th. So he'll also be stationing this week. So you'll notice an area in your life, wherever Jupiter is or wherever Jupiter makes contact, that's going to stagnate a little bit, which is, of course, normal. The summers are always all about retrogrades. So redoing, reviewing, anything that starts with re is what we do while the planets are in retrograde. So let's take a look at what the cards have, in store for us this week. Renewal, very nice. I love to see this card. New birth, like I said, just kind of like also like after all these eclipses and all this solar energy that's been coming at us, really taking a time to absorb them and let them integrate into our body, into our energy fields, and feeding this new growth here that comes up, and the flowers are red and she's dressed in red. So it's really about like embodying, learning how to embody and be enveloped and encloaked in whatever it is that's new for us, that's been growing. So that's a lovely card. Always good when they start out good, right? Then, of course, who knows where they go. But let's get the challenge energy for Aries, please, for the week of June 12th. Challenge energy for Aries, week of June 12th. 20. Okay. All right, ripeness, 9 of Pentacles. May, as I said, so Jupiter is the planet of abundance. He is stationing, so we may start to feel some of that abundance tighten up a little. Maybe we're not as ready as we thought we were. Maybe the timing actually isn't as right as we hoped it is. That there is a challenge with things feeling ready to come off the vine, and that's right, because we're still in the renewal phase, right? So we're I'm sorry, my Italian and English is so bad today. But anyway, we're getting used to this energy yet, but it's not like 100% ready. It's not ready to fall off the vine yet because it's still growing. So assimilating, there we go. We are busy assimilating the energies that have been coming at us. Kind of like a you know, when you go to a movie and like with her friends, something, maybe you take some time after the movie's over to like discuss what the message was, what the meanings were. Maybe it causes reflection and bigger ideas. That's kind of the energy of this week. Can I get the lesson? Okay. Phases and cycles. There's a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. So this to me is kind of like that Sun square Neptune energy that I mentioned yesterday. Understanding where maybe you've been keeping yourself in illusion, or where someone else has been keeping you in illusion. So seeing things for what they are. This may cause a sense of setback, or just saying like, oh, I'm not as far as I thought I was, or perhaps I'm not ready to do that yet. But there's some kind of revelation here that's coming through that the timing isn't 100% right for something that we thought we were here, and actually we're a few steps beforehand. So it's not as ready to pop as we thought it was. It just needs a little bit more time. And also, just from a personal level, it's funny because, you know, obviously Mercury is retrograde, and it's a classic to not try and do new things when Mercury is retrograde. So even in the times that I was like trying to push situations forward, or like, all right, well, let me try, worst comes to worst, I'll just redo it. It's like the people weren't around, or there's just something that's saying after the 22nd, like now is not the time. Just give it a second. Let the universal energies do what they have to do, and then it'll be ready. But it's not right now. So can I get beginning and ending energy, please, for the week of the 12th? Okay, soulmates upside down and deep knowing upside down. Interesting. Let's read what these mean in the protection. This is always one of my favorite cards, and it's interesting. It's a 41 and a 43. So I'll show you that, but it came up that way. And then we have this deep knowing in reverse, which may mean, well, no need for me to may, because I'm going to read it. So no reason to suppose. 41, protection message. All right, an important relationship brings you to your knees. This is the kind of soulmate who comes with a powerful gift. Your patterns and all your old stories that don't serve your well-being enter into this dynamic so you can heal them. This person is called to a sacred task to help you learn, even if it seems uncomfortable, sticky, or even inconceivable. The question is not, why did he or she do this to me, but rather, what is the gift in this? Look into the mirror. You will only be changed for the better. So yeah, so this is kind of like learning. Maybe some of you are going through the very fun soulmate process. And I, of course, say very fun with a tremendous amount of sarcasm, because it's one of, I wouldn't wish it on people I can't stand. But it does force you to take a new look at yourself. It forces you to be rebirthed, literally. Many people, as a result of these soulmate encounters, can discover astrology, can discover tarot. They can level up energetically. So if any of you are finding, perhaps you're starting to realize that the soulmate encounter wasn't about the relationship, but was about something else, was about getting you to a different spot and getting you to a new place. Now, soulmates can come in the form as a romantic relationship, but they can also come through like that annoying coworker, or even just a friend kind of situation, but they come in, they're people who push our buttons in the way that forces us to move into a new space. Now, this deep knowing one is, you are in empathy overload and need to get grounded. Hypersensitive, you're suffering from psychic exhaustion. So you need to get grounded again, so tune out for a bit. Hypersensitive, you're suffering from psychic exhaustion. This signals a time for recharging of your batteries. Set energetic boundaries, take a salt bath, empty your mind, and get back to you. It's not a time to be too open. Soon enough, you can let your guard down. Right now, you need self-care and self-love. It's time to say no thank you to anyone in your life who exhausts you. Won't that feel good? Okay, so this is, like I said, the energy this week is very much like, let me just ground down into this. It's kind of like swimming in the sea after a storm, and once you're sure you're safe, then you just kind of need a minute to get back to you. So if there's some kind of like soulmate realization or something that came to light as a result of a karmic interaction, it's not time to act on it right now. It's time to just let that dust settle for a second so you can fully understand what it's about, because that's kind of it, right? All of the sensory information has been thrown at you right now, and from an energetic body level, you have all the information. Now it needs to sort of transmit into 3D, and move into your logical mind and your rational mind. And that takes some time and lone reflection as well. So yeah, this is really kind of a like, take a break and reflect on what's happened over the last couple of weeks and just like sit with the energy. 3 and 4 of Wands, very nice. Things coming to you, coming home, right? So the key word in both of these cards is that it's coming, right? It's moving towards you, moving towards the abundance is coming, the homecoming, the crossing of the threshold is within arm's reach, but just not quite there yet. Right? So not far, definitely not far energy. And things are moving towards you. But right now there is a space in between from where you are and where you need to be, or where you want to be, where the important stuff actually happens. And even though it's, like I said, it's a quiet week and there's not much happening, and we've been used to getting like waterlogged for the last couple of weeks, this is a great time, to reflect, take notes. What did we learn? What do we want to fix? Like almost an energetic to-do list for the future. One more card, please. Okay. Yeah. Okay. These are both about reflection, right? Reflection on, this is too much reflection, and this goes right here with this card because it says you're dwelling on it too deeply, and allow it to pass from your energetic body into the real world, right? So make that shift from an emotional space into a fire space also, right? Because this is water moving into fire here. But both of these are about reflection, but too much reflection. So to me, there's kind of like a warning here of whatever has come up for you in this period, or whatever you have learned, it is not meant to like be dwelled on. This reminds me of kind of like, there's a theory that they use acceptance and commitment therapy, which means that when something happens to you, you accept it. And it's funny because I talk about this to people on Instagram quite frequently. There is a difference between acceptance and dwelling, right? And we think that sometimes it's like, I am so sad. I am going to be so sad. I am just going to stay in this sadness is acceptance. And it is. It's right to say, like, I accept what's coming at me. Again, the coming at you. I accept what's coming at me. I accept the lessons that are being given to me. And they might not be lessons that you like, right? Like, oh, I just realized, not me, but theoretically, I realized this a couple of years ago. I just realized I only ever date people who are emotionally unavailable, right? And instead of taking whatever that recognition or the information, the illumination that's come to you in this period and letting it drag you down, be like, oh, woe is me. Why do I always do that? It's like, use it to power you forward, right? Okay, I've realized that there's this, someone has helped me realize that there's this thing that I do, or this thing that needs to be changed, or this thing about me that's not where I would like it to be. There is a gap between where I am and where I want to be, but it is not about shit, right? Like, no, I'm just going to stay here and wallow in it. It's very much about embracing now the Mars and Leo energy, right? This is kind of like the Mars and Cancer energy. Embracing the Mars and Leo energy to be like, I am so close to where I want to be that without that recognition, I wouldn't be able to cross the threshold. Without whatever information that this person brought to me, or whatever situation, that uncomfortable situation that brought this revelation that's helping me renew, like grow into a bigger, better person, is what's going to push me in the direction that I need to go in. So I accept this information that perhaps I didn't want, but I needed. I will not, however, let it be why I'm stagnant. I'm going to let it integrate into my energy system, and then I'm going to use the fire that's available to us now to push forward, to cross that threshold, to come home. Okay. I'm going to do my Mercury again, because I always like to do Mercury when he's retrograde. Okay, what advice for Aries from Mercury? Okay, 2 cards. We have Arrow and the Shooting Star, which is great because, right, like they're both moving forward. They're both shooting in the same direction. They're both coming, like flying somewhere. They're en route to the destination. So let's, that would be really funny if I didn't have the book here. I do, yay. My brain fog has been at epic levels this week, so. Okay, like the many arrows on this card, your mind is flitting in many directions and your thoughts are scattered. Hello. However, you are being urged to bring some order into your life and make plans. The only way for you to achieve your dreams is by decluttering all those thoughts well enough to determine what they even are. It's time to be like one of the arrows in the center of the card that shoots straight into the point. You can achieve this by taking time out to decide what your goal is, planning how you can reach it, working on a schedule to stick by, and then focusing. You will find that you become stronger and more grounded as you go straight to what you want in life. Focus on positivity and you will make your mark. This is the way to good fortune and blessings for the world around you, and ultimately for yourself. The incantation is, my mind is like an arrow in flight. It's focused sharp so that I might hit the mark and reach my goal, to free my dreams and feed my soul. And the other meanings here are start to prioritize, make a list of what's important in your life, walk away from anything that takes you away from your main focus, be straight and to the point, detox your mind through positive thinking, and practice meditation if that's appropriate for you. Now, shooting star. This is a magical moment. The universe is poised. See, that's the word, poised, almost. Not yet, almost, poised. To respond to your wishes. And this card has turned up to confirm that it is so. You've felt this for a while, but haven't fully allowed yourself to believe it. Interesting. Also about the thoughts, right? It's time to trust your feelings and know that all is perfectly fine. In fact, it is better than fine. You are truly blessed with heightened manifestation abilities right now, so take this opportunity to bring about all that you desire. Ride this shooting star through the cosmos, fill up on mystical stardust, and know that whatever you wish for at this time will be granted. And the incantation here is, upon a star, my wishes soar, of magic, love, and even more. For now my dreams will truly go. I know, for this card tells me so. Other divinatory meanings are your focus and positivity bring you good fortune, which was repeated here. All you have hoped for is about to be realized. Keep your thoughts positive, for your manifestation abilities are strong and can turn the outcome either way, right? Very powerful, because they both said the exact same thing. Be careful what you wish for. And it leaves us with that. I've always found, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago, you have to be very, 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 like when you make your intentions list, you have to be very specific with the universe, because it will take you literally. So make sure you are, it's like, oh, I really hope for a soulmate. Yeah, you'll get one, and they live 9 hours away by flight. So be very specific in your wish lists right now. But the overall message is very good. As I said, time to let these energies integrate. Not quite exactly where we want or where we think we can be, hope about to be, and we can let this gap in the arrival bring us into a negative headspace, which is no bueno. And we can spend time also dwelling on why it isn't happening, or why it hasn't happened yet, or why this keeps happening. But again, use any of the information that's come to help you get clear on what the next steps are, on where that gap exists and why. And what can you do? Now it's up to you to use this Mars and Leo energy to say, okay, there's this gap. What are the 10 steps I need to take to get from where I am now to where I want to be? And literally just break them down into bite-sized steps. And then you have an action plan. And that is when this energy comes through you, right? It's kind of like it's coming, but it needs to be transmuted into 3D energy. And that's kind of what's happening right now. It's in us on an energetic field. We can feel it. We may not see it yet in 3D, but that's where our action plan comes into place. We have to actually make concrete steps, get out of the water and into the fire. Okay, hope this was helpful. I will talk to you again next week. Take care.